people feel seen and known. All right, last year here at Dangerfield, John Israel said that when customers are purchasing, they need to feel two things. They need to feel safe and they need to feel in control. It was a great little simple thing. They need to feel safe, they need to feel in control. I think feelings are really underrated. Y'all, answering objections is not a cheat code. Like, it's important to learn how to answer objections correctly, but sometimes I hear people on the team and they answer objections and it's in this like, gotcha. And it's like, that is not effective. That just made you look like an asshole. Okay? That made you look like the salesperson nobody wants to buy from. All right? Like, there's a difference between smartly answering objections and being a jackass that has an answer for everything. Because what do you want to be, right or profitable? You follow me on that? Like, if I need to take a step back and drop down a little bit and sort of let them control that flow of energy for 12 seconds, that's literally all it takes to sort of help sometimes bring the energy back where I need it to, and then just pivot, ask their favorite fair food, ask what their business is, and then take it back into scripts from that point. That's rapport, because to me, rapport is just managing the connection and energy between a client and a salesperson. That's what rapport is to me. Guys, the feelings are intangible. That's the tough part. The feelings are intangible. A lot of times people don't even know why they're feeling what they're feeling. And that's what's hard for a lot of salespeople, because we want things to be binary. We want it to be a light switch. But half the time when your customers like have objections or concerns, a lot of times when we're like, I wonder what their real objection is, they wonder too. They don't actually know why they're not buying from you right now. They just don't feel comfortable yet. You with me on that? And that's why the ability to create atmosphere, to create a buying atmosphere with people, to help them feel comfortable is so key. Staying friendly and approachable throughout your script. Are you consistent and congruent throughout your approaches? Do you have the same enthusiasm when you're doing the stall close as you do when you're showing the cheese knife? And the answer is no, you don't. I don't either. But we should. Do you have a congruent level of like, you are who you are? Are you coming across like someone that is enjoying the experience of being at the fair because you're selling? Or do you just seem like someone that's selling a lot because you're enjoying the experience of being at the fair? Working with great people, partnering with amazing business professionals, being in this cool environment. Oh my God, Mrs. Jones, I haven't left my house in a year and a half. I'm so happy to see you right this second. You're my favorite person in the world right now, Mrs. Jones. It's just a dumb thing. And I said it at Fort Worth and they just laughed. Like when I worked Fort Worth Home and Garden here 2 weeks ago, they just laughed. I was like, you're like the third person I've seen since 2019. Like, we're about to be best friends. And they just laughed. But guys, I get it. They're not laughing with me because I'm not funny. They're laughing at me, but laughter reduces tension. Laughter reduces tension. This is rapport. Rapport is managing the connection energy between two people. Y'all, I had 8 orders on that Saturday at Fort Worth Home and Garden. I sold $7,900, and 3 of those were B-backs. 3 of my 8s were B-backs, okay? I did everything I could to keep them there. Don't get me wrong. Like, I pride myself on really effectively answering we need to think about it, we're gonna walk around, things like that. But I knew once I couldn't close them, I empowered them and left them with just positivity and smiles. And man, I think it's such a great thing to consider Cutco. I can't wait to take care of your family. Like, from everything y'all told me, this is such a slam dunk, and I'm really glad you're considering this set option. I'm glad we really feels like we found the right option for y'all if you do decide to pull the trigger. Hey, just make sure I'm doing right by you. Is there anything else that I could do for you right now? Like, are we close? Is there anything I could do? Feel like, no, we just got to really walk around and think about it. I was like, man, what a great idea. I just can't wait to do business with y'all here. So I tell you what, if you can, try to swing by and see me if possible. You know, I know you didn't come here today just to meet with me, but I think it's a hell of a good timing that we did meet today. And I'm really excited to get a chance to work with you. So let me know what cool things you find, and we'll see you in just a little bit. Okay? I never tell customers, hey, can you make sure you come back and tell me either way? Because you know what my wife would do? She'd be like, no. I don't owe you that. Why would I walk back across the fairgrounds to do that? I don't know. And that's just me. I think it's an awkward thing to tell people. I just do. Personally, I think it's a weird thing to put them on the spot for, as if you have some kind of deeper connection to this person and they owe you that. They don't. I think half the time it makes them feel weird. I'm not saying it doesn't ever work. Sometimes things work, we make them feel weird, and then we wonder why we don't get good response to our marketing. How can you demonstrate empathy? For God's sake, give old people your stool. What the fuck is wrong with you monsters? Okay, like I sold an ultimate set that day, and like the old lady was there, and like by the time we cut leather, I was like, here, like, you want to sit? Like, get comfortable. I'm long-winded. Okay, and she laughed and she sat and she was happy, and we sold an ultimate set. All right, like even if you don't sit, like Curtis is the king of like beat attention. I'm a fat lazy dude. I can't do that. I gotta sit. But when grandma's there, grandma gets to sit. See? more power through stools, all right? Guys, always ask at least one follow-up question to something personal they said. Something personal they said. Make sure you always ask at least one follow-up question. At least one. At least one. Don't go crazy. Again, they are there for a reason. You have a finite amount of attention. But when they say they have kids, how many kids do you have? When they tell you where they live, how long have you been there? What do you like best about it? Like, you want to make sure that you're doing something. Use their name, but don't make it weird. Please don't make it weird, all right? One of my very, very good friends is a writer, and she laughs when we watch a movie and she ruins it, because in a movie they'll be like, well, Kevin, what I think is this, Kevin. What do you think, Kevin, for what we should do next time, Kevin? And y'all ever do that? Like, if I'm talking to Frank, how many times within that conversation do I actually say Frank? And the answer is not that many. Not that many. Now, you should say their name a few times, but just to make sure they're hearing it and you're remembering it. But don't make it weird, because some salespeople do that. They're like, well, Kevin, what's going to happen next, Kevin? When you get your spa delivered, Kevin, on the 4th of Kevin at 7 o'clock. It's just like, it's so discordant. It's so discordant with people, okay? But give them a beer if you're comfortable with that. Luke Mills is the king of the course close. Identifying pain points is a way to empathize and connect with people. Okay, like that's one of the things that Curtis and Josh are so expert at. It's not just that they identify the pain points. And Rob, when he was sharing yesterday some of the pain points with business owners, it was so good because they talked about it in this shared way. It wasn't just like, don't you hate it? It's just like, wow, isn't it annoying when this happens to you? It's annoying when it happens to my family. We sure do like X. And they're sharing in that. That's a huge opportunity for empathizing with people. Engaging in struggles and pain points in the kitchen, it's an opportunity for rapport. I always say, hey, my wife and I, back when we were dating, we made a deal that whoever cooks, the other person does the dishes. What I didn't realize is she's an amazing cook, so I've gotten really good at doing dishes. Okay? And then they laugh. And I go, so I freaking love that Coco's dishwasher safe. And I go, look, everyone tells me, you'll tell me when you buy your set of Coco, I'm going to wash them by hand. And I'm going to like lick it and buff it and use, a toothbrush on the rivets. And I'm like, you're not going to do that, and you shouldn't. I go, the fact that Coco's dishwasher safe and it's low maintenance, that's what makes it the right choice for my family. That is a way to share in a pain point, connect, and again, reestablish my brand. When I talk about table knives, steak knives, or flatware, hey, Miss Jones, in my house, we need 2 or we need 20. It's too many or it's never enough. So, hey, better to at least have what you think you might need. We need 2 or we need 20. When I show gadgets, oh, Mrs. Jones, what's great, the reason that everyone loves these is because this is that stuff that people $8 themselves to death at Target buying it over and over again. So it's just one and done. It's going to be great that way. Flatware. I always say, hey, God bless my son Noah. He's knocks the spoons in the garbage disposal a couple times a year. It sucks, but hey, whatever. I always ask, hey, Miss Jones, do you guys have like a junk drawer in your kitchen or an everything drawer in your kitchen? My God, my wife died when we got our kitchen tool set. It was like the best thing in the world because she didn't just get kitchen tools. She reclaimed a drawer in the kitchen. That was like the happiest day to her. And you know what they share? They're just like, oh, I hate that drawer. Fuck that drawer. And I'm like, fuck that drawer. Okay? But again, like, how is that compared to be like, our kitchen tools have a chef's curve? It's curvy like a chef. Okay? Guys, be curious, be expressive, ask more questions. When it comes to atmosphere creation, just write down just buying atmosphere versus selling atmosphere. Buying atmosphere versus selling atmosphere. Kind of on these sort of questions as we wrap up here to challenge yourself. On your scripts, are you being personal or pitchy? That's a theme we've had over the years. But I don't think that's binary. I think some of my scripts I'm very personal. Like I think my cookbook script is very personal. But I think sometimes with business gifts, I'm very pitchy. And that's no surprise. It's not effective when I do that. So I think that you should measure yourself on all your different major programs. Am I personal? Have I internalized my script where I can effectively deliver it with confidence and empathy and connection? Or am I being kind of pitchy where I'm just reciting a script and therefore I'm losing some of the power and effectiveness of what that script should have? Okay, last couple lines here. Guys, during the close and drop down, I'm big on, I always say permission-based closing. We had that question, Blake had asked that question before. He's like, do you do assumptive closing? And Josh like, oh, we do options closing, things like that. I'm big on permission-based closing. I like to let the customer take the wheel, but don't get me wrong, I'm still guiding the ship, okay? Like I'm not asking questions I don't really know the answer to by and large, but just simple stuff. Hey, since you're here anyway, is it okay if I at least show you the discount? That's a permission. They're going to say yes. Okay, everyone says yes to that. Guys, I say 100 times, hey, give me a shot. Like a big smile on your face. Give me a shot, Mrs. Jones. Give me a shot. I think I could blow you away with this. I think I could find something that would be so perfect for you guys. Big smile on your face. I had a lady that I'm working with, and I literally just said, hey, I would hate it if you saw this discount later and you knew I didn't show it to you. I would feel terrible about that because I'm going to be your knife guy forever. And then next time we see each other, it's going to be weird. Okay? So just so I feel better, can I at least show you? And the lady was still like, no. And her old ass mom hits her and goes, well, don't make him feel bad. And I'm like, Grandma, you're getting a stool. Okay? All right? It's a callback, y'all. I literally tell him, I go, hey, Miss Jones, look, I'm not going to be like sales ninja guy and flip across the table and try and like wow you with some amazing deal. I figured out a long time ago, I'm not good at it, but I love the product. I love working with customers, and I'd really love to get a chance to take care of your family. So can I take one more shot at seeing if I could find a better package for you? Because I'd sure love to get a chance to work with you guys. Like, how often do you tell your customers you love Cutco and you love your job? You love working with customers. Ms. Jones, I want to work with you. It's going to be fun. Promise you that. Hey, Ms. Jones, I've been here 19 years. Once your resume says 20 years of knife sales, I'm not going anywhere. Who would take me? They laugh. I go, I'm not going anywhere, Ms. Jones. I'm your knife guy. I'm the safe choice. Guys, how do you interact with when you have like a couple, for instance, and the spouse is less engaged? All right, that just happens. You know, I had that at Fort Worth where the husband was not super into it, but he was still supportive. He wasn't neg. He was like, whatever she wants, that's fine. But I just made sure I kept getting Cutco in his hands. Like, even when I'm talking to her, I just kept handing him things. I just handed him a Hardy slicer, and he held that like a security blanket. Okay, like it had some weight. And at the end, I said, hey, Doug, I know we're getting Jill the Jill set. We customize this. Cutco doesn't make this. Jill made this. This is the Jill set. Good job, Doug. You're awesome. I go, but Doug, which 2 or 3 knives in here are you going to use all the time? And he goes, oh, man, I'll never use anything other than these 3 knives. And I go, that's freaking awesome, Doug. Isn't it going to be great, though, when you only need 2, 3 knives and they're badass and they do everything you need them to do? Dude, I'm fired up for you, man. Jill's got everything she needs, and you're the husband of the year. You're still going to have a great experience with these couple knives. I didn't try to sell him on why he needs the whole set. He didn't care. He was going to buy it for her, but he felt better. He felt seen. He felt heard. He felt in control. You'll follow me on that? Like, this stuff matters. Famous let go. Are you strategic and intentional about what you share at the end? Okay, I always try to teach my assistant managers that people remember first impressions and last impressions. First impressions are what people think of you. Last impressions are how you made them feel. That's what I always tell. First impressions are what they think of you. Last impressions are how you made them feel. How do you want people to feel at the end of that interaction? You know, Josh is so good at planting seeds and really communicating expectations. But just letting them know, hey, Ms. Jones, I'm so excited to hear how much you love your Cutco. I can't wait. Maybe it's going to be during the holidays, you need to buy some more. Maybe it's going to be next year at the state fair. I'll be here again. Can't wait to see you. Make sure you come see me. Bring me a corny dog. All right. Hard to leave the booth. People buying so much. Maybe it's going to be 3 or 4 years when I'm sharpening your knives. But I just can't wait to see you again. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I just know you're going to love your Cutco. Like, you painting a picture of just that long-term connection with your customers. I always point to the little trifold. It's got a picture of me and Miriam. And I make a point of saying, hey, this is my wife, Miriam. She's going to make sure you get your tracking number sent to you so you know when to look out for delivery. And again, it's just a personal, stupid touch. You can point a picture of yourself. Hey, just so you don't forget me, I'm going to be the guy that makes sure you get a tracking number. And by I'm going to make sure, I mean, I don't know, I clicked a box and didn't not enter your email. Whatever. And it's great because when I can point to Miriam, I go, see, she's proof I'm a good salesperson. And they laugh and I go, I married up. And then I love looking at the husband, I go, and so did you. And then the wife is just like, I love you. Guys, other than that, here's the deal. The thing I hope that people take away the most from this is kind of the thing I opened with. How would you define your professional identity? What are the 2 words you hope people take away from their interactions with you? And is what you're doing consistently reinforcing that? I know for me, it's warmth and competence. That's what I want people to experience when they work with me. What is it for you? There's no right or wrong answer, but how much can you gear the way you're approaching and communicating with people to reinforcing those points? Thank you very much.